Get your free hugs here. Free hugs.
You don't say. The world isn't always puppies, sunshine, and rainbows, for the most part. Hurry up. Sometimes it can be a dark, scary, and unfriendly place.
Get your free hugs here. Anybody? Nobody?
But there are ways to make it a little bit brighter. By giving back to your community, helping out your family, friends, animals, the environment, the planet, you can make a difference. So, on this week's episode of You Don't Say, we hit the streets to talk to people about making the world a better place. I think my dad has this jacket. This looks pretty warm. Oh, am I folding it right? Am I gonna get in trouble? Really put me to work here. I feel good about it. All right, hopefully this makes you feel all warm and tingly on the inside. First of all, what does it mean to make the world a better place?
To make the world a better place, it means just to do something extraordinary that changes the world. And to me, it feels like making a difference, like you are helping someone.
Being kinder to one another.
Help people out more, do a good turn for them, not looking for anything in return, especially the elderly, the shut-ins, all those marginalised people that you see around that could do with a helping hand.
To be fair, this is a pretty tough question to answer. Maybe I should ask someone who's making a difference in our community on a day-to-day basis.
Making the world a better place to us here is dignity. When we see somebody that come in, we treat them with respect. We treat them like they're a normal person, even though they're homeless or they don't have a place to live. We treat them with dignity.
I guess, in my opinion, just to make people more equal, more equality, everyone having the same opportunities.
It means to have people stop thinking about themselves and start thinking about the others around them.
More awareness about, your neighbor, the fellow person.
Well, it's not just having an awareness about them, it's actually doing something about it. So if you realize that somebody down the street needs to have their porch fixed or something like that, it's getting the tools out and going and helping them out instead of just watching it and driving by it every single day.
Today, most people are for themselves. We should be more for each other. And I think that would make the world a better place.
Doing what we can as individuals and groups, just for the betterment of people who are less fortunate than ourselves on a micro as well as a macro level, like on an individual as well as a global level.
You might not know it. I mean, your neighbor could be one of these people that are coming down to our food bank for help, and you don't know that. So we're trying to say, let's help our community. Our community isn't as happy-go-lucky as everybody thinks it is when we're serving, 200 people in our soup kitchen every day.
Well, that one looks like a good one. Smells good. The whole concept of changing the world for the better can be pretty daunting. But what if you could make a big difference in the lives of kids simply by shifting the way you think about food? Up next on You Don't Say, we spend some time in the kitchen creating healthy eating habits for life. You don't say. Ten kids cooking in a kitchen could be a recipe for complete chaos. But these Kent Elementary students are sharpening their culinary skills through a healthy eating program called Food for Thought. It's a cooking class that promotes holistic nutrition by reminding kids that good-for-you foods can be fun, easy, and delicious.
We try to keep it really low budget and fast so that the kids could actually go home and make it for their family. We put together a menu of local seasonal foods. One of the foods I really like to teach everybody how to use is kale. And that's because it grows locally, it's easy to grow, it's considered the #1 healthiest food on the planet. So today we're using it in garlic mashed potatoes, and that's using local potatoes, kale that we picked today with the kids. We're doing local chicken with herb and nut crust, and that's from here. We're doing a Greek salad that has cucumbers, tomatoes, and peppers grown here in Agassiz. And the finale, the pumpkin cheesecake, was from 1 pumpkin and 1 winter squash grown here on the farm.
2 minutes and it's done.
Miel is a trained chef and lives on a 50-acre certified organic farm in Agassiz. She's been working with a hand-picked group of kids from Kent Elementary for the past 3 weeks. Each week, the kids learned a new recipe, and on week 4, they put it all together and served up a 3-course feast. Every student got to invite a guest along with the principal and the school's superintendent.
They're only grade 5 and 6, so it's pretty amazing what they've pulled off today. Like, I know a lot of adults who would not want to pull off a 30-person meal. For sure, right? With 10 recipes? Like, would you want to?
Besides their newfound knowledge of nutrition and a reservoir of tried and tested recipes under their apron, these kids are learning valuable life skills.
I think something like cooking and preparation of food is very relevant to kids. They see the immediate impact of it, and with underneath that, you have so many other skills that are involved, whether it's teamwork or critical thinking, problem solving, math. And so you have not only this big skill, but also the skills underneath that that's very relevant for the kids.
The purpose of the Food for Thought program is to help all people create healthy habits for life.
Really, my goal is to educate people how they themselves can be healthy, how they can reconnect with food. And when you reconnect with food, you reconnect with your family, because it takes more time to prepare, and so it's something that happens in the kitchen with your family. And I think if you get back to basics, if people learn how to cook food at home, if they learn how to grow some of their own food, even just on their balcony, I think that that's a way better choice for the planet.
Healthy eating doesn't mean you have to stick to a super strict diet or deprive yourself of tasty treats. It's about nourishing your body the way nature intended it. So, the next time you're strolling through the supermarket, give your food choices some thought. You don't say. Now, this is always a fun game. Let's pretend you had all the money in the world. Well, maybe not all the money in the world, but you had if you had a ton of money and you had a lot of time and you had all these resources, you know, how would you use that to better society?
First thing I would do is make education free. So university, for a lot of people, they're not able to go, and if they do start off going, they'll leave it halfway because their student loans are picking up, and a lot of them can't even get student loans. Because if you just give people money left, right, and center, and they're not educated to what to do with it, what's the point?
I would definitely give it to the animals, because we just destroy things. I don't think we deserve it. We should give them a voice, because they can't talk for themselves. So we need to give them some help.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like people. We just take everything and think it's ours for taking.
That's one of the problems, is we think that we can just fix it with money when we have no relationship there. So it's all about helping build those relationships and then seeing what the real needs are.
Well, first I'd eliminate poverty, and on a global basis, like we're talking the world. And then another thing that I think is really needed is a lot more resources for people with mental health issues.
I'd like to help out with addiction, I think. There's a lot of addiction I find in Chilliwack. And if I could do whatever I want and had the power to do whatever I want, I would like to be able to help counseling addicted people.
Look after the people that are homeless, that we can get the people off the streets and into shelters and into homes.
In your day-to-day life, is there anything that you do to try and give back to the community or make society better or inspire people to lead a certain lifestyle? Is there anything that you do to try and make the world a better place?
Well, I guess, I don't know, I work in agriculture, so I think just in my sense, it's making quality products, making quality food, and that kind of is a starting point. That's what I do.
I do weekends at the zoo. I'm a volunteer, and then we go around collecting donations and we give them to the zoo, and then they go give them to the animals that are in danger. that need help.
Awesome. Animal lover. I love it.
Sharing smiles with everyone. If someone's having a bad day, just cheering them up.
So just being positive, having a positive outlook.
Yeah, for sure.
So right now, we're actually doing a fundraiser, and we supply hampers every year. So last year, I think we did $25,000 worth of hampers to local families, and partner with the different schools and stuff, and just try to hand them out and give somebody a Christmas that wouldn't have one otherwise.
My kids and I clean up shorelines on the Vetter River Trail. Then we help out here. I'm helping out here to give back to the community.
Well, I do volunteer work when I can, and I have 2 jobs that I consider being able to help. I work here at the Salvation Army as a social worker, and my other job is I work at a transition house for women and children who are fleeing abusive situations. So through work-wise, I feel I help, as well as I volunteer when I can.
Love.
Oh, so you're all about spreading love.
Yeah, well, if you love, the love doesn't hate.
And that's going to make our world a better place if we all love.
Of course.
You don't say.
Do you have a better solution than that?
Actually, no, I don't. I think love is a pretty darn good solution.
Of course, of course.
Free hugs. No? You're welcome. Have a good day. I got one. Hugs a day, that's the minimum. 4 hugs a day, not the maximum. Yeah! No free hugs. They're free. Come on. No takers. So, I think my heart's in the right place. I mean, they say you need at least 4 hugs a day for survival. But maybe there's a better way to spread some love and cheer. Some way that's a little less creepy and desperate. But what about you? What do you think the best way is to make a difference in your community? How are you going to change the world for the better? Tell us about it. You can connect with us on Twitter or Facebook. As for me, I think I'm going to start giving away free smiles instead.